You're an inspiration to our entire organization.
Welcome to the Gym Marketing Made Simple podcast. We're going to be talking the done-for-you marketing and sales strategies proven to work with boutique fitness gyms to increase quality lead flow and grow your revenue. Don't try to be a professional marketer and waste tons of money. Let the experts at Lasso do it for you. And now, here are your hosts, Blake Ruff and Sherman Merricks.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Gym Marketing Made Simple podcast. Today, we are going to go over budgets and really how to manage your ads and what I do on the back end to manage over 100 gyms, over $2 million a year, and the best practices and what not to do. So let's get started. When you're creating your ads and doing things, make sure you keep it simple. You don't need tons of different campaigns and tons of different stuff. So try to build out your ad sets within one campaign, 1 to 2 campaigns. Anything more than that, it can get very overly complicated. So within that, you really want to have, 2 to 4 different ad sets and creative within that. So you can really test against each other what's working and what's not working within that. Always optimize for leads. So, and the biggest thing when you set up your ads, the budget is going to dictate how fast Facebook learns what is working or not. So if you're only spending, $5 to $15 per day, you really can't turn things off probably for about 2 weeks, or even know what's working for about 2 weeks or so, or even longer, because Facebook has what's called learning phase. And learning phase basically is simply, it needs data to figure out what's working, what's not working. And one of the ways to think of it, you really shouldn't turn off an ad campaign until you spend at least 2 to 4x more than a client cost you. For example, if a client, is worth, is worth to you. So if a client is worth $200, you should probably spend about minimum $200, because if you got a lead and signed somebody up that day for $200, it cost you, but they stayed for 10 months, that's $2,000 for that $200. So that ad worked well. So really you want to spend probably $600 before you turn something off. But if you have a clear winner right away, then you can go with that. So the more that you spend, the quicker you're going to have learning, which we recommend anywhere. Our clients spend a minimum of $1,000, which Facebook has really told us $1,500 per month is kind of the sweet spot minimum that we want to be in there per month. One thing when you are going through your ads to see what is winning, you want to look everything in a 14-day window. Reason being, as I'm recording and writing this, it is almost spring break time. So parents, for example, are planning their trips, and the week before they're thinking about everything they have to do, getting all the stuff together, and then they're going to be gone the following week. So that's really 2 weeks that, it's going to be slower just due to what's going on around you. And then on top of it, if you only look at things in 7-day windows, there's just so much that can happen, like I said, with spring break or holidays or things like that. And even 14-day windows can be a little skewed. So I like to look at 14-day windows. And if I know something's going on like spring break, look at a 30-day window as well. So that way it can give you a true identity of the ad. Hey, is it performing well? Is it not performing well? Is it just the time of year? Is something going on? It's the holidays. And know those things, because the truth of the matter is human behavior does not change just because you're running an ad. Just because you're running ads does not mean people are going to click on them and it's spring break. Yes, some people are, but it's not going to perform as well as it will 2 weeks after spring break. So that's the biggest thing to look at. And then, so start at the 14-day window, then pull up your ad, and then look within the ad set. Is there a glaring winner? Is there not a glaring winner? Is there something that's costing you way too much that you should turn off immediately? And you can tell that, like, Facebook, as smart as it is, still sometimes puts things towards what's not going to be most beneficial for you. For example, if an ad is getting a lot of clicks and a lot of people stopping, but it's not generating leads, it might see that the engagement and the comments, it's going to feed to it, maybe because somebody commented something just crazy, and it's getting a lot of people looking at it, but it's not benefiting it. So you really need to look at the metric that you're looking for, is cost per lead, and turning off the things that don't correlate. I will say that with a caveat. Let's say that you're getting $50 cost per lead, but you're spending $1,000, you've gotten 20 leads this month, but you signed up 10. That would tell me that yes, the cost per lead is high, but that ad is getting phenomenal quality in the door, and you should not change it. Now, people would say, well, yes, but I want to get better cost per lead. In that case, what you would do is you would leave that ad alone, leave that ad set and that campaign alone, go create a new campaign to test. That way you can see if you can outperform the quality campaign with a new campaign don't change the budget. Anytime you change a budget or add things to one that's working, it's going to reset the learning, which you don't want. Basically, Facebook has figured out these are the people, and I'm going to keep putting it in front of them. Even if it costs $50, they're super high quality for you, so you should not adjust it. What you should do instead is create a new campaign, put an extra $250, $500 towards that campaign, and see if you can get the same quality for less. Never change what's working. It's like the phrase, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Because Facebook, it'll only usually get better. Now, will the cost per lead rise? Yes, but the quality, it has figured out the people to get it in front of. So don't change that. So the other thing to think about is you have these different creatives. You're looking at it at a 14-day or a 30-day window. Couple of things to adjust, perhaps, if the cost per lead is too high and you're not getting people to come in the door and sign up. Maybe you need to extend, the age range. I would say age range would probably be the first place to start compared to distance. Distance is always, and when I say that, like radius targeting. So ages, and if you're doing, interest-based / limiting your audience by putting, only these people that go to my Instagram page, or like retargeting based, opening up that audience is number one. Now, the ways to do that would simply be, if you're retargeting higher quality, higher engaged people, opening up that age a little bit first. And then if that doesn't bring the cost per down and you're not converting, now when I say converting, you're always going to look back at your funnel, right? If you're getting 20% lead to close, you're in like gold standard. So if you had 100 leads and you signed up 20, you really shouldn't adjust anything. You should just spend more money. So in saying so adjust the ages. Maybe you can add a couple more ages and add a couple more 1,000 to 10,000 people automatically. Great, do that. If you're still not, and the audience is small, and when I say audience is small, you really want to gear probably 30 to 50,000 people. Now, if you're super rural and you can't, that's just what it is. And you're just going to have to keep testing things till something really hits home with those people. Once you have either changed the ages or take off some of the targeting, the custom audience targeting that we've gone over already, then the only other thing you could do is add on different, your radius, add on another zip code, add on, another mile or two. I would always, just go 1 or 2 miles, depending if you're more urban, just 1 mile. If you're more rural, maybe you open it up 3 more miles there. That way you can get more people seeing your ad. Then the last thing that you can really do is just hone in. If the ad's working, or if it's working okay, look at different ages that are opting in. If you notice everybody 30 to 40-year-old is opting in, that will give you an idea. maybe I need to test a creative geared to 30 to 40-year-olds that's very targeted to that market. And then you can see, okay, this ad is working for this age. I need to create ads specifically for those people, because that will probably win when you get more specific to a specific audience that already opting in. After that, then you can get really into, this is only after you've looked. So again, the gold standard metric is leads to close. If that is above 15%, your funnel is working. Then improve within the funnel. Am I getting, 40% lead to consult booked? Am I getting, 60% of those people to show? And am I closing 80%? If those are off, even with above 15%, work on that first. You're only making your funnel better, right? Until your funnel and your marketing funnel is optimized, the ads, as long as they're generating leads, is not the problem, because you haven't fixed your funnel. Because the ads, you're always going to blame the leads because your funnel's not fixed. For example, was on a call with a client recently, and they told me, the lead quality. Well, every single month before, they had about a 60% conversion, and 1 month they had 30%. Well, the leads the quality wasn't, it was just they were bad at sales that month. Maybe they're just off their game. Maybe somebody was gone. I don't know. But a 30% conversion, that is where to start, right? So whenever you're running ads, pull up your ads manager, pull up the reports, view it in a 14-day window. Look at the different ads, see what's working, see what's not working. Don't just turn off a campaign based on a cost per lead. You need to go look at the ad set level and then see which ads are not performing compared to the other ones. That will help you identify which ones to turn off, on, or scale. If an ad's working really well, add more money to it to grow faster. The only other metric to know that, hey, maybe it's time to turn it off, is a frequency metric. Frequency is the amount of time people have seen it. I say this with the caveat, most people take 8 to 12 times before they make a buying decision or to opt in a lot of times. So if it's not above 10, don't worry about it yet. But if it's above 10 and it's not working, then turn it off. If it's above 10 and it's still generating leads and clients, again, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So overall, with all of this, never look at anything in a 7-day window. There's just going to be too much going on. It could be the weather, could be cold. You get a cold front coming through. Could be just a transition with a school off for the week and parents are busy, different things like that. Then figure out, can I open up my audience more? And then can I open up my radius, and can I open up my targeting so Facebook can figure out who to get this in front of more times than not. Hopefully this is helpful for you guys. Share it with a friend, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to the Gym Marketing Made Simple podcast with Blake Ruff and Sherman Merricks. We hope you enjoyed. We believe marketing should increase revenue and not waste money. So book your free call today. Head on over to lassoframework.com. That's lassoframework.com and find the right words, get more customers, and increase your revenue. We'll see you here next time.